Edgar here. Time to do another video, get some information out on some of these firearms that I hope you folks will enjoy. One of the things I'm going to talk about today, though, isn't so much the review of each one of these items. I've gone over a few of them already. But a discussion that seems to be boiling every time I bring up the issue of inexpensive or affordable handguns. I use the term inexpensive and affordable for a firearm that you can take out to the range, you can shoot, you can get some practice out of and some skills. You can actually enjoy using it. I'm not explicitly saying that these are self-defense firearms, these are carry guns. I never made that claim. But it seems like everyone wants to jump in with the idea that if you have a handgun that somehow isn't over $1,000, you can't use that for self-defense. It's not going to be reliable. I keep hearing, I wouldn't bet my life on blah, 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 blah. I got news for you. I've got several firearms right here, some of which are very inexpensive, that I would bet my life on. Because the thing that determines whether or not you can use that in self-defense is based on two things. Its reliability and your ability to actually use it with some skill. So, I don't believe for 1 second that you have to pay 2 mortgages for a firearm or a handgun that's going to do the job for you. I think that is patently absurd. And I'm going to go over a series of these things to try to make that point. Here's a selection of handguns that are very reliable. The one characteristic I will say with every single one of these handguns is that I have shot each of these models, not these particular handguns, but I've shot models of each one of these over 1,000 rounds without a single failure of any kind with every one of them. The first one I would point out is the Glock. This is the baby Glock, Glock 27 in the 40 cal. Everybody knows that Glocks are extremely well designed, engineered, and very reliable. They're also super easy to break down and take care of. No question there. It's not a particularly inexpensive handgun, though. These go for new a bit over $500. Some push $600. That's not what I would call an inexpensive or easily affordable handgun. Some folks don't believe that. I do. Phoenix Arms, the mouse gun. Now this isn't a 22. Most people aren't going to consider a 22 truly a self-defense handgun. But these have a lifetime warranty, and they really mean lifetime warranty. They stand by this product. I had one that I put 7,000 rounds through before it finally shot loose. And you know what? I didn't have a single failure to feed, failure to fire out of 7,000 rounds with this little guy. And I shot cheap ammo out of it. It ate whatever I wanted to put into it. They don't tend to recommend real high velocity rounds for these. So I just used good old cheap standard 22s in it. I know the guys are going to love to sneer at this one. The High Point. The High Point, this is the 9mm, lifetime warranty again, and they mean lifetime warranty. I actually was going to do a video on one of these. I got its older stepbrother, which was called a Stallard, for almost nothing, and took it out to the range to kind of make fun of it. I was going to set up a film. I had my camera rolling like this is now. And another fellow just down the line from me at the range was shooting a Kimber. So I ran the thing out there. He and I both were laughing at that ugly, stupid Stallard. Well, first 5 rounds I put out there, 1-inch group at 10 yards. Next 5 rounds I put out there, 1-inch group at 10 yards. I was out shooting the crap out of Mr. Kimberman. I wasn't doing that to try to embarrass him. It's just the thing shot that well. And it shot every ammo I put into it, not a single misfire. I have shot this particular version, the C9, with the same results. I have a friend, he and I go out and shoot his. We put a good 1,000 rounds through it. It shot every single time. And it was easy to shoot well. So you can stop the sneers, guys. Some of these things really work well. The Rock Island 45. Rock Island's been around a long time, and they've developed a pretty good name for reliability and something that's basically a true 1911. I know most people aren't going to carry something this large, but I do know quite a few people who like carrying a 1911, And just about everybody swears by this. Now, this is a handgun that goes for a little over $400. It's not your $1,500 1911. But the ones that I have fired, and again, I've got one that I put over 1,000 rounds in it, and not a single misfire of any kind. And I shoot crap ammo. I shoot my self-loaded stuff. Really reliable handgun, easy to shoot accurately. And, you know, with the 1911, the 45 recoil is pretty easy to handle. Makarovs. The Makarov that shoots the 9x18 round. All right, it's something in between a 380 and a regular 9mm Luger. I've shot a lot of these. I have shot thousands of rounds through a bunch of these. I have never had a misfire, a misfeed of any kind with any of my Makarovs. And the other thing that's stunning about these is they are really easy to shoot well. They just point naturally. Whatever it is about their design, something about the weight maybe, you know, the triggers are military triggers, so they're not super smooth, but good Lord, can people shoot them well. Okay, finally, I'm going to use this Smith & Wesson 380 as an example of a whole cluster of little 380s that are out there. This Smithy, it sells for roughly $350. You can get the Taurus version of the 380. It's about the same size as this for just a little over $200. Now people are going to say, oh, that cheap Taurus. I don't want to put my life on the line with that cheap one. Well, I got to tell you, again, I've got a friend that has one. We shoot his all the time, and it is reliable as the day is long. The one thing that the 380s get a bad rap on is people's likelihood to do what they call limp wristing. These things have some snap to them, and they're very light. So if you don't hold them nice and tight, that muzzle rise and that recoil will tend to give you a limp wrist effect, which is you'll have a failure to feed. You got to clamp down on them to make them shoot well. If you're skilled with it, then this is actually a pretty good handgun for you to carry. But again, that comes to one of the big points that I'm making, skill. What do you want to use for a self-defense handgun? Well, there's a couple of things. It's going to be one that you can actually use well yourself. It works for you. And it has to be something that, you know, when you pull the trigger, it will fire. Every one of these fits that bill. So no, you don't have to pay, you know, $1,000 or $2,000 for a self-defense handgun. Now, I'm going to discuss another issue about self-defense in a following video. But for now, look, if the thing shoots well for you, yeah, I'll put my life on it. I'll put my life on the line.